go. This is the Underground. World News Live. Good evening. Here we are again for another one. Much love. Good to see everybody out there. I want to thank D. White, Kev Bar, Crazy Tacos, Tooge, Harm, S-Bird, Hoodie Ross. Everyone that shares the stream, it's appreciated to the fullest. Much love to all you guys out there. Thank you for the feedback, Gabe, Quantum. Who cares? Good to see everybody for real. Pixie in the house, Deanne, Daily Survival, Bones, Minx, Flip. Yes. If you're new to the stream, if you need to get something to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. If you want to get my attention, you have something to say or a statement during the show, you can @ me in the chat there at dabu77. It'll light it up in red, and it'll catch my attention, hopefully. Much love, Colorado. Thank you, G, for the super chat, and thank you, Happy, as we were getting started as well. I appreciate that. Go ahead and roll back the volume there. And yeah, we've got a lot going on. We're going to start off here with space, as usual. And I'm going to kick it off with some of the lighter stuff here tonight, as usual. Work my way into the heavier stuff. Then we'll get into the signal leak. We'll get into what seems to be World War III brewing, because Europe doesn't want to let it go. An ancient pyramid structure found, and also crazy stuff on the Ark of the Covenant. So we're going to dive into all that here tonight. And this mysterious swirl that a lot of people were hitting me up about. If you see this, man, just know that this is SpaceX. This is a Falcon 9 rocket launch. This is what they look like when you're out underneath of them. When they get to subspace, they really start to spin out these wheels just like this. Years and years and years ago, we started to see this. You know, at first, everyone's like, "What's going on?" You know, Project Bluebeam. The first time you ever witnessed it, but we've been seeing this now for years. We're pretty hip to what's going on with it, what it's coming from. Some of the Russian rockets in the past have given off similar looking things, crazy stuff up there. But this is definitely a signature SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch. Plus, we know there was one that went right up through there and everybody saw this. But apparently, no one had witnessed a launch like this until now. So when you have people that see something like this for the first time, it's going to cause a stir. It's kind of similar to the Starlink satellites going by in a big line in the sky. If you've never seen them before, the first time you see it, you're like, what? Yeah. But a lot of stuff going on in the heavens. I have a feeling it's going to turn into the ultimate TV screen backdrop for a big show here in the offing. Is how I feel. You ever been to the Omni Netherlands, or Omnimax theater? It's this big dome you're inside of. The shows they put on are tremendous. They're awesome in there. But it's a big show and you're inside of a dome. And like what would be the sky above you and everything else is TV screens everywhere. They had Antarctica. They had a couple different ones. They had a space one there. It was just wild. It's an awesome thing to go check out if you've never been to the Omnimax Theater. But it's all what it reminds me of. Like, they're about to put on something in space. They primed us for all this the last administration with Trump when he created Space Force. And I think we're going to see quite a few different things in terms of space. As they say, they announced, and thank you, Sleeping Savage. As they announced, Elon went up and got these stranded astronauts from the ISS. And there's a lot of speculation on all that. And thank you, Deanne, for the 10 coffees. Happy birthday. Much love. There's a lot of stuff I don't buy with space, obviously. But what we do know, when I can see with my own eyes, I know that something's going on. Like, for instance, with the ISS, like many other satellites, you can go out there and you can track them. And they're up there. They're floating around subspace. No doubt we can be in subspace. No one ever said we couldn't. There's no magical barrier stopping us. The barrier, the firmament, if you will, are what's called the Van Allen belts. They go out thousands of miles out in space. These big looping rings. And, you know, that is the controversy. Has any life been able to get through that? And from what I've seen from like moon landings and all that, obviously they faked all that crap and did a pretty poor job at it as well. Someone, thank you for the coffees. Much love, yeah, praise Jesus, Yeshua, the Most High in heaven. And much love, thank you there. Hope the volume's down there on that. But I'm going to keep it pushing here. Go to another event. And I don't understand why they're calling this a double sunrise. But because it's not like you're going to see two suns. Okay? It's just get that out the way real quick. You're not going to see two suns in this double sunrise, so to speak, event. But that's what comes to mind. Here comes the Black Swan Boomer. Seeing you in the chat. Much love. Thank you for the coffee. Appreciate you to the fullest. I'm going to show you a clip here of this double sunrise. This is what it looks like right here. We basically have a partial eclipse going on. In the upper East Coast, New England area, you're going to have the best view. The further north you are up into Canada, you're going to have the best view. When the sun comes up, there's going to be this partial eclipse, and it's going to give this what they call devil horn effect, as you can see here. And I'm just going to kind of... There you go. This is what it's going to look like. A guy caught this before on the ocean. I don't want to play the clip because it's from YouTube. Probably get hit on it. But you can see the partial eclipse. This is going to be a pretty crazy sight to behold coming up. It's going to look pretty wild. If you've never seen it before, just to see it, to experience it. So, call it the devil horn sunrise, which is ominous in itself. To me, this is ominous. Coming up on the East Coast. Make of it what you will. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, so. Yeah, March 29th. This is going to go down. And if you have clear skies, good luck, man. If you guys get any images, I'd love to see them. WW3 again. And yeah, the bull horns, devil horns, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty crazy. So they call it the double sunrise, though. It just doesn't. But again, it's not going to be two suns coming up, if that's what you're thinking. It gives the impression of that. You're going to see two suns coming up in two different spots or something like. What else could a double sunrise be? Well, I just showed you. I guess they don't want to call it a devil horn event, so they call it a double sunrise. So there you go. Somebody wakes up on the 29th, here in a couple days, a few days, and witnesses this. Again, I'd love to see the images. If you got anything space-related, anything news-related, let me know. WW7@yahoo.com. It does feel ominous, don't it? The eclipses do. And remember, we were in a window, a 7-year window, where eclipses went over this country and made a big X over the country. It was a 7-year window in the middle, right? That X went right over the heart of the country, right over the New Madrid Fault. And guess what happened right at the height of the middle of that? We got locked down. So, watch the signs, as they say. I got to give a shout out to my people down in the Carolinas that are dealing with these fires, man. It's like worse than the news ever wants to report. So these people are getting like double, triple hammered down there. So the hurricane came through and wrecked them. And we know this. It's savage devastation all over the place. People still haven't recovered. If there was any righteous billionaires out there, especially in this country, they surely would have made a trip down there and helped, donated something, right? Nope. You're dealing with devils. You'll tell them by the fruits. Okay? So the state of emergency has now been declared as these wildfires ravage the Carolinas. So now the same areas that were rocked and have all this down dry timber, they're just blazing. Much love to you all that are out there, and send the information my way. Got a name on that. Sheepdog. Much love. Everybody out there in Western Carolinas. You can see here the key takeaways. The Black Cove Complex fire is over 3,000 acres. It is 0% contained. 0. Which means they don't have a single fire line holding it back anywhere or anything. It's burning out of control. This is the worst case. And you've got the storm system coming in. It's about to swoop through for the weekend. They're already putting warnings out. Tornado warnings, high wind, hail, all this stuff for a large portion of the country. I'm telling you, the weather is a weapon. The wind is a weapon. Okay, it doesn't have to be tornadoes. It can be straight line winds, fronts that just level everything. We seen this here last week, crazy winds. It looks like another round's coming through. If there's not a lot of moisture in that, there's definitely going to be some high winds, and that can fuel these fires. So, the Deep Woods fire, almost 3,000 acres. It's also 0% contained. Fishhook fire, 200 acres, and it's about 72% contained. I mean, 200 acres on fire is a big fire in itself to have guys trying to contain. There's dozens of mandatory evacuations in North Carolina and South Carolina. Man, just this. They were just seeing a post today too, where people were saying they were starting after all this time after the hurricane, just starting to try to pick up the pieces, and then these fires start to hit. So here's a clip of the fire. Imagine being up in that. Imagine being like up in that and having to go up in it and then come out of it. I had to do that. You do crazy things when it's your property.
It's slowing down too.
Look, it's everywhere. It's all around the lake. Everything around the water, everywhere. They're like out on the water. Like everything around it is like on fire everywhere. That's at the Table Rock Reservoir in South Carolina. So the Table Rock fire, it's been something else here, man. But prayers, man, for all the people out there in the Carolinas. That is for real. Colleen, yeah, something's up, all right. Something's always up. Thank you for the coffees. In this evil world, something is always up. They're always up to something. I mean, seriously. Older you get, the more you get this thing figured out. I hope. I'm trying to reach the youth as much as possible. That way we can get them this knowledge at an early age. But, over here on YouTube, like anything below 18, big old goose egg, can't reach them. They won't let me reach them. They never have. They never will at this point. That's why I depend on you guys to share the stuff, get it out to your friends and family, and share it on social media. You get it out to places that I can't see. I had Daz hit me up today and was like, you should do it. And I'm like, do what? I looked and took a screenshot. And it was somebody saying, hey, I love your show. You should come on mine or something like that, similar. Someone followed me. And I go looking and I could find it nowhere. And I'm like, dude, what in the... So after an hour of searching, I go looking in the spam section and everything else. There it is. For no reason. It's a normal comment. And I couldn't help but think, like, how many comments get hit like this? Like, how much am I hitting? It's ridiculous. I know I'm hitting. Okay, every flag they got, like, thrown on me. On multiple platforms. And, like, I'm never getting out of the dungeon. It's like a life sentence. We don't get blasted out there. I tried all the platforms. But, like, I'm censored everywhere. Over on X, I'm flatlined. Literally flatlined. I see new people come in all the time. I'm sure some people go. But, like, there should be some up and some down or something. But no, the analytics on my followers, flatlined. I'm in the dungeon. Worse than shadow ban. Worse than any of it. We don't get promoted. We don't get seen out in the feeds like Benny Schill out there. That's right. And old Mario. No, we're the exact opposite because we're the real deal. Dudes are sitting there pandering to the evil billionaires and pushing everything that they want. All right, I got a travel warning here for some popular Caribbean islands here. Trinidad and Tobago is under a state of emergency because a spike in violent crimes, murder, robbery, sexual assault, kidnapping, everything you think of. This is bad. You can't even go there at this point. It's turning into chaos. People want to go there for vacation, relax. Can't even sit on the beach without someone coming up trying to slit your throat or rob you. What kind of peace is that? What kind of vacation is that? You can't even go to Mexico for the same reason right now. Can't even do it. People getting chopped up, murdered left and right, students left and right. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. This world sucks. It's evil everywhere you go. It's ridiculous, man. So the criminals are targeting tourist hotspots, airports, markets, shopping malls, hotels, restaurants, churches, schools, even sporting events. And they're looking for people with money, people moving with Gucci bags, nice watches, nice clothes, this and that, coming out of the airport. As soon as you're coming off the airplane, they got kids sitting there, scouts, watching you. I hope you know this. If you don't, you should get hip to the game. If you haven't traveled in a while, if you're planning to travel, never have, you're going to some of these places, man, but you can't go nowhere, as I'm showing you now. Can't even go down to the islands, can't go to Mexico, can't do none of it. As I said before, I've got Mexican friends. They got family down there and everything else. They won't go. They won't take me. Because I asked them, hey, go down there as a guide. He's like, oh, no. No. Like, are you kidding me? It's like that bad? He's, oh, yeah. And I'm just like, wow. Like, seriously. Sure, there's some parts you may get away with dipping down and into, but man, all it takes is the wrong day, wrong move. Here comes a caravan of gunmen. What are you going to do? You better have your own gunmen, how I see it. But it's going to be a shootout. And people are just trying to go on vacation or go explore places. And you got to worry about this. So they brought it to our doorstep now. Mexico is a war front. You know, our southern border is a war front. There's so much military equipment down there, man. They've now got hundreds and hundreds of our military scouring on foot along the border. They're running SIGINT flights. The drones are up all over the place. They got the Ospreys down there. They've got Apaches down there. They've now got multiple warships in position off the west coast, off Baja, right around there, right around the Baja Peninsula. They may even come up into the peninsula for a strategic striking position. Dude, these are military moves we've never seen before. You think, we're going to war with Mexico. It's like that. But it's not. It's obviously the cartels. But, man, they're showing you that if they label you a terrorist, they can strike you and kill you. And they've done this. What did Trump do? Came out immediately, labeled all these people terrorists so he could do just that, so he could use the military against them. Do you understand the concept? So people are like, well, yeah, sure, that's fine and great. Let them do it, right? Well, yeah, but not when they turn it on us. With the other hand, while he's doing this, they're out there attacking Tesla and what I feel is very staged, carnalistic type of stuff. But it gives them the excuse to call them domestic terrorists. And to lock them up, throw away the key, 20 years, Pam Bondi said. And this and that. For young people that make mistakes out there, some sure. But I always see deeper. I see further. What happens when the right wants to come out down the road and wants to protest? You ain't going to be able to because they're making it illegal because you sat there during all this and did nothing and let them label your people domestic terrorist. They're going to use the same on you. So I'm telling you, labeled domestic terrorist, they're going to be able to strike these people with drones and everything else. I'm telling you, it's all sleight of hand, black magic, and he's doing it left and right. And as soon as they do it and they say they took out a massive bunch of leaders of Trinidad Iraq and killers in a city, what are people going to do and say about it? They're going to be like, okay, cool, again. But it begins something bad. We can start drone striking people in this country, and it's the scariest crap of your life. You wonder why people in the past went underground? I'm sure there's been high technology here before. Tons and tons of civilizations ended up running underground just to survive. Some of my ancestors, same thing, went underground. The stories even say of it. Even the Hopi, big bright white light took them into the earth, saved them from catastrophe. And then they come back out in the Grand Canyon. Oh man, this place is crazy. We're so lied to. You should be free to be learning the true history of this place. It would be amazing, if you only knew. They're peeling back the layers. They just came out and told us about the pyramids, underneath the pyramids, as I showed. It's a power plant. An ancient power plant. When are they just going to get it over with and fire the thing up? And all that good stuff. Probably not in our lifetime. I would say it could be fired back up. This is insane, amazing stuff we're talking about. But they came out and showed us. They took LiDAR and they took all the infrared, the technology from beneath the pyramid. And they showed us there's something there, man. Yeah, thank you again, Boomer. Not only is there something there, it's a definitive structure. It's 4 huge tubes off of each side, so a total of 8 in their spirals, and it goes down 1.2 miles and ends into big cubes, into perfect squares. Dude, they know what it is. They just decided to tell us. Just decided to come out of nowhere and to say, hey, man, let's just go ahead and tell them this. Why? Why now? I feel like we're on the cusp of some big things. They're just going to keep happening. With so much distraction every day, things like this are just going to get thrown out here. And I ain't even tapped into the biggest stories here, like the Ark of the Covenant that I'm going to touch on here later, and this ancient pyramid structure that's found later. That's not even dealing with what they just told us about with the pyramid. So, all right, let me get through some of this economic stuff. Dollar Tree set to offload Family Dollar for $1 billion. Go take the money and run. President Trump unleashes 25% tariffs on foreign-made auto parts. So, anybody trying to get any foreign-made vehicle parts to get them worked on, usually as expensive as it is. Trump said this is permanent. Permanent. Forever. Again, I hope the people realize it's us that's paying for this. We're paying for these parts. The 25% more. So this is his attempt to also make you buy American. Buy an American car with parts and everything it's made here. Is basically what he's saying. If you're trying to get something foreign made, now I'm sure he's got deals with certain places. Like Toyota and things like that. But we'll see here. And can these tariffs actually eliminate the IRS? Can it do it? I'm over at shiftgold.com, and Shift's one of the best economic money guys you're ever going to find. Always has been for years. A big old gold bug, silver bug, and righteously so. But him and his guys, and a bunch of others, they've crunched the numbers, and they've ran the numbers again and again on all types of the scenarios. The prices of certain things, where things should be, and can they, by cutting certain things here, achieve what they're saying? Well, it says right here. It says that on CBS News, we had the U.S. Commerce Secretary declaring that Trump is going to aim to eliminate income taxes for Americans earning less than $150,000 a year. Think you ball. So anyone $150K or less, no taxes. That's a huge thing. Tariffs are going to replace the revenue lost from this. Okay? That's a bold statement. So 90% of Americans fall into this 150,000 or less club. I don't know if you know that or not. They've herded everybody into this 90% into this one area of making $150,000 less. That is insane. That's like that one huge poor class, pretty much. They took the middle class, the poor class, and just did away with the line in the middle and just kind of smashed them together. Well, CBDC isn't coming here, that's for sure. Trump signed an executive order saying that he wouldn't do no CBDC here. But with the other hand, he gave you blockchain and a Trump coin and all that. And I'm going to tear into some of this here in a second. So, look, people are up in arms about certain things. Some people are oblivious to certain things. We've been warning about the downside of some of this stuff forever. But they're going to continue to roll out technologies. And they can be technologies, they can be used for good. But they won't be. They'll be used for bad because of bad people. It's how the technology's used, man. And people worried about CBDCs and all this stuff out there. Yeah, we warned you a long time ago with the CBDC. It's going to be where they can track and trace everything and they'll connect it to blockchain. It's pretty simple. Now, as long as there's like no nefarious people running things, again, that can be applied in every business to track sales, to track all types of stuff. How many miles you ran in a day. It can track all types of stuff in a righteous way. And people, you're already being tracked on everything that you do anyway, financially. If you've got a bank account and you got a debit card, you got credit cards, anything like that, you're being tracked your every move. And I've said it before, that combination with your phone, your cell phone, you're tracked more than you even can comprehend. And you're over here. I find it funny that they're like a lot lightweight complaining about something they don't even understand all the way. It's like, at least take the time to understand. I try to educate the crowd on what all this is. And have the whole time. 2017, I put out the Beast blockchain, warning people that they're going to come through with their blockchain that's bad. They're going to try to track everything on. And that's the end game goal. Now, what's so bad about it is, they're going to try to take away the fiat. They're going to try to take away gold, silver, cash, things like that. That's what you cannot have happen. Okay? Now, if they roll out blockchain and it's an option, then it's an option. All right? You've got an option. But it's really no different than digital banking. It's all digital. Okay? It's just with blockchain, information stored in a blockchain. Still, all your banking records and all that stuff, it's stored, it's saved. Every trade you make in the stock market and all that, it's all tracked. It's just, you're already there. You're already there, man. I don't understand it. In terms of that, it's like we've been in a digital realm for a minute, but the big difference, obviously, is blockchain. And that's what some people don't comprehend. They don't understand, like, well, what's the difference? And it hashes data, stores data in a block for, say, every hour of the day. And then it just keeps going like that forever. And then they can go back to that point in time, open up that block, and get all that information at any time. Now, you can do this different ways. You can do it private, you can do it centralized, or you can do it decentralized. Okay? You can do it where it's private, or you can do it where everything is open and seen for everyone to see it. Okay? It's like one of the two. One of the two. And that's where we're at right now. Now, I told you there's going to be an event coming where they hold your cash hostage. And that's my biggest thing. As long as you've got an option out there for cash and fiat, you're safer than being herded into not. Like, the moment that you don't have that option, my biggest fear is that they're just going to work the crowd here. If they got to do it up all the way up 2030 or whatever, they just fooled them with the CBDC executive order and then turn around and gave them Trump coin. I mean, and World coin and all this other stuff. It's like the people or showing me they don't quite understand what they're even dealing with. They don't even understand all of this, like truly. And at the same time, I feel that in the midst of some of this, there's going to be missed opportunity. Because I do feel that like the biggest transfer of wealth in our lifetime is about to happen in this big move. And when it does, the people that just sat there watching, you're just like every other bubble that came and went, you just sat there and watched it. So there's going to be no one to complain to because you missed it. Okay? Now, I've been telling everybody the best I can about the things that I come across. You can't beat things that are tax-free. You just can't. If you put a 10 items on the table and one was tax-free, that's the item that I'm going to choose to go with because you don't have to worry about it. Gold and silver fit that bill. I'm going to tear into that here in a second. But boy, what are we going to do if there's no gold in Fort Knox? Huh? What are we going to do? Again, thank you, Paul. Much love. I think it creates the perfect storm, the perfect crisis. And they love a crisis, right? And just it keeps hitting at me hard. Like, why aren't you showing us? You've had every day now, after telling us, blasting it to the whole world, you were going to show us with cameras and all. You have not done it. And like, we're waiting. And it's almost like they know this. They know we're all waiting. Why the wait? I'm seeing record amounts of gold being shipped in. COMEX just made a huge announcement about stopping shipments of all this other stuff. And shipping them here. They run the numbers right here, and they say there's no way that the tariffs coming in are going to replace this gap. Because they crunch them. They do them right here. I'm not going to read through the whole freaking thing, but they do it. You can see right here on the screen. You can go over here to shiftgold.com. Read the article. It's a fresh one. March 25th. Can tariffs and Doge eliminate the income tax? And they put up some honest speculation against it. That they don't see how they're going to do it. The numbers just don't add up. It seems to be smoke and mirrors. That's what more and more people keep saying, that this is the administration of smoke and mirrors, and it fits perfect with the black magic that they're pulling off. Makes sense. If you're a big, huge Trump fan and just showing up for the first time, you're probably like, what? Like, is this guy for Trump or against Trump? Well, that shouldn't be the concern. If that's your first concern, like, you're badly damaged. Like, you are. Like, you should be seeking the truth first and foremost, not a left-right paradigm to gravitate towards. All right, over here, we keep it real. And you're going to probably hear some truths that you don't like if you're new to this. And sorry, that's just the way that it is. It happened to me. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to everybody. And there's a lot of things out here that I don't like, but we're going to talk about it. And when the old Trump Gentile Messiah does something good, we'll give him props. When he does something bad, we call him out. And that's how it is. We don't sugarcoat it. We don't just turn a cheek. We talk about it. We just put the sermon on it. And there's here, I'm just gonna skip past that one because it's premium. U.S. Treasury saying that it could default as soon as August. I'm sick of it. Every time we turn around, it's the government's going to default. They need money. They're going to default. They need money. They're going to default. They're going to shut down. Like, let them shut down. You think anybody's going to care at this point? Like, let them shut down. Like, what are they doing for anybody at this point? Well, I will say this. Anyone that's living off the government, that's going to screw you, huh? Getting that check, living off the government, whatever's coming from the government. People shouldn't be in that position. They shouldn't be dependent on the government. Help should be there if they need it. But man, talk about a rug pull coming. It's happening right now. And this is a very good one right here. Rubino talking about where gold's at. I just told you and all them, gold bugs, they're running the numbers, they're crunching it. And he's giving a very low ball number here. But he's saying, man, it doesn't matter who you talk to, the lowest numbers. Everybody who runs the numbers said gold, at bare minimum, has to be $10,000 an ounce at minimum. And maybe much higher, up to 20 grand, 30 grand, some say. So gold's moving up. It just broke a record. It's on a slow burn. I've been telling you to buy it since 2017. Gold, silver, any precious metal you get your hands on. Any. Copper, platinum, palladium. You're going to see here in a second. Anybody that has been picking up these things, like copper and all this, it's about to go bananas. All of it is. There's a reason they just quit minting pennies, and they're taking all the change back, and they're doing all this under Trump. It's all part of this reset. And it's working. One of the biggest moves is going to be holding your money hostage. And they've got the answer to that. I'm about to show you. But Rubino says, again, $10,000 an ounce. Gold's at $3,000. That's a huge gap to cover. And again, in most states, it's tax-free. Gold and silver purchases, yes, because it's seen as legal tender. So I hope you're in one of those states. I hope you're making the most of these moves. Also, anyone that's any U.S. projects. Eric Trump has mentioned in the crypto thing that any U.S. projects were going to be tax-free. Well, I'd say the same for stocks, right? He didn't mention stocks. Their aim is to blow up and to be the kings of AI in the crypto realm. But it's rather interesting. So I'm going to put it like this on the gold and silver. Get it while the getting is good. Get it wherever you can get it. If your yard sales, you're anywhere, and you can get your hands on silver, junk silver, copper, scrap metals, man, stack them. What does this say? This is crazy. Something exceptional is happening. Of course it is. This moment was going to happen. Everything's about to pop upwards in terms of metals. The copper bull forecast new record highs on the most profitable trade ever. This is what they're saying here. They're saying that the market is showing signs of tightening, and that this pushes the Shanghai copper futures into the widest backwardization that it's seen in over a year, and this creates pressure. And that the demand outstrips the supply by 320 tons this year. Okay? That means that inventories ex-US will be significantly depleted. And this is what he says. He says, we think that there's something exceptional happening in the copper markets. This is coming from Bentos. He adds that it's unreasonable. He says, is it unreasonable to expect a copper price of $12,000 or $13,000? He goes, I'm struggling to put the numbers together because we've never seen anything like this before. This explosion that's about to happen. Whoever wants to sleep at the wheel. Dude, if something like this, you're talking like, to me, to see an explosion like this, I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe copper goes first before gold. I don't know. I doubt it. I think gold leads the way, but who knows? Who knows? If it does spring first, it would catch so many by surprise. And they would miss the opportunity. That's why I said this whole time, you just get in. Just get in. Get in and pull back. Get in gold, silver. Stack that. Bury that stuff. Hide it. It's going to be worth its weight. And check this out. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Trump he's signing executive orders left and right. Look what he does. While no one's paying attention, yesterday, presidential actions, the modernizing payments to and from America's bank account. Most people don't even know what this is, what it means. But I'm telling you, is everything I've warned you about, now it's in place. Now everything is in place. All they need is the event. Literally. All the framework's there. Executive orders are there. This is what he just did. He says the continued use of paper-based payments by the federal government, including checks, money orders, all that flowing into and out of the United States, imposes unnecessary costs, delays, risks of fraud, lost payments, theft, inefficiencies. 3 days for money to clear through the bank and all this stuff. That is true. So here it is. They've just changed everything in the blink of an eye, and nobody around you realizes this. Even after I sit here and I explain this, most people say it's not going to stick. Again, it's like it's got black magic on it or something. But they're doing away with all the paper stuff. Period. He just told you. Paper-based payments of checks, money orders, all this stuff. It's going fully digital. This isn't going to be talked about in the evening news. Like it's slipped out there. This is real deal. At the same time, you know what he did? He pushed out a dollar-tracked and backed one-to-one stable coin called the USD1. You heard it here first. The USD1. I told you they wanted to bolster stable coins backed by the dollar because it strengthens the dollar in that sense. In doing so, making sure that everything that's traded in the digital realm is traded in a US-backed currency, not Chinese or Russian-backed or anything like that. You see what they're doing here? So, this is huge. Everything changes. Everything changes. I just told you they're changing everything of the cross-border payments, everything. And here they are. March 10th, they implemented this. It all started to go into motion. The Fed and the whole scheme. I warned you about it. Now we're in the mix of it. Now the executive order's done dropped, so to speak. Presidential action, whatever here. And, he did away with the penny minting. Now he's doing away with all the paper-based stuff. It's happening right in front of your eyes. Chrissy, much love. And here's my thing, man. The warning has always been this. You're already digital, right? So like everybody's already digital. So it's already there. You're already tracked and traced into your bank account and your debit card. I said it a million times. You're already there. It's doing away with the fiat that is everything. This option must always remain. It must always remain on the table. The moment that it's gone, and by the next generation, I feel that it will be. Because the kids, the next generation coming up, the phones, the tablets, and all this, they'll be able to come out and say, well, look, no one uses cash. It's used like 5%. It's obsolete. We're going to save money by not printing it no more. I mean, that's it. That's all he's got to say. That's all Doge is doing anyway, right? I'm just waiting for it. Will it even take that long? We're just going to quit printing dollars. It's too expensive. Welcome to the digital dollar. USD1. And look, it's not going to be any different from any other thing. In the sense, the scary part is they're taking away the fiat in front of your face. That's what cannot happen. That's the scary part. You got to have a fiat option the whole time. With gold, silver, but not if Fort Knox is empty and they try to confiscate it all, you ain't, right? Not if they quit printing dollars and all that, you ain't, right? You're going to be forced into one way and one way only then. And that's been the warning the whole time. The entire time. Not to fear certain aspects of it. Again, it's the people in charge of everything that are the evil ones. They're doing evil things with things that they have. If they come out with a laser that can do good things in life, they would use it as a weapon. Does that mean the laser's bad? No. You see? So all the technologies that are rolling out, it's the same way. It's a double-edged sword. Are you ever going to change the way they're running the game here? Like, who can wage war with the beast? Huh? Who's going to challenge us and change this? He's done buffaloed the whole crowd, the whole Trump crowd. So they're just going to take this hook, line, and sinker. And I don't see nobody saying nothing. All the Trumpers over there are just busy about their own egos, I see on X. It's high school. It's sickening. And they're all pandering to each other and all this other crap. It's disgusting. And not even talking about none of the real issues that we're facing. They're like ignoring it. Over here talking about some other stuff. They'll carry on about a certain topic for days. It didn't pertain to none of this important stuff that we're talking about. They should be. They should be educating their people. They should be getting with it. Man, we need something that represents us. That's all I can think about. Something to do it the right way. That's all I know to do is to set an example. To do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? People run things and they ruin it. They do evil things. Like, things need to be done the right way. The whole system needs to be done righteously, where you always have a fiat-based option in America. Always. Always, always. Shouldn't have been flipping out blindly on the CBDC without understanding exactly what it all is and what the real threat is. Because now it's like he threw him a bone with the executive order, and like he's about to take away the cash, and they're not going to say a word. And that's the black magic of it. That's the magic of it, man. Then they're going to sit there and they're not going to say a word now. It's like, dude, this is beyond ridiculous. It's where we're at. This is black magic by wizards and witches in real time. I hope you know that. You better know the world you're living in. Right? They're connecting them with these jinn that are floating around all around you, all over the place. And they're causing all this. Dear Lord God, give us the power to fight back. You said we could go on to do things greater than you. Give us the power to do it. Exorcise these demons. Do away with them. Put them down. Put them to rest. You see, there's a power here. The story of King Solomon told you. He was able to control the jinn. He could stop them from doing the crazy crap to him and tempting him and doing all this, right? But he wasn't allowed to use them for bad things. He couldn't use them to go to war. He couldn't use them to go kill an enemy. There seems to be rules to the game. So he used the jinn to cut the rope, to cut the blocks. And that's what the scripture, that's what it says, Testament of Solomon. That's who built that wall they all go and touch. I hope everybody realizes that. It wasn't built by man. What is written states it was built by the jinn. Non-human hand. And you wonder why they go over and touch it and it's so special to them. You better get with it. You better understand the history of what this place is. Right now, I'm telling you, it all comes back around to it. This is all a puppet show. It's all theatrics. It really is. It's an illusion. It always takes me back to Rowdy Roddy Piper and They Live. Because man, oh man, there ain't been one like it since to hit it home like that. To show you the illusion around you in real time. So, let me just put this like this on the economic tip here, coming up on top of the hour. This is going to accelerate. There's a chance here for people to make money tax-free in American-made projects that I think that some people should not miss in cash. man, real gifts are forever. I tell you what, man, as legendary as it comes with the support. Thank you, Stephanie, for the super chat. I mean, for real. Cash. And that synchronicity in the last show, I'll never forget it. I thought about that all night. I was thinking about it today. It was crazy. But thank you. Much love to all you out there to support the show. It's appreciated more than you know. I wish I had a way to give back. I always do. This is why I said I want to create an underground project for us. Krylet. Much love. Thank you. Western. Yeah, that's all I can think about. I want to do things righteous. I want to create something righteous that like we can invest in. And as I ran the poll, majority of you said to do so. So we've been looking into doing just that, trying to get something that represents the underground, like us, that we can invest in, that they can't do nothing to. They can't dump. They can't do nothing to. It's like it's our vested interest, and that's it. So. I don't know. Let's see all the schemes out there. Yeah, 23andMe. I told you about this. 23andMe. This has a lot of people's genetic data. And apparently, if you did this, you better be trying to get it out of there. Like all your information, all your data, all your DNA. Because New York's Attorney General just urged everybody to do so. Like, get it out. Like, get it off there. Delete it because it's like going to go up for grabs. What's that, Deanne? You give us 3 X's a week for years now? All 3 times a week? Yeah. I try to stay consistent with Monday, Wednesday, Friday here, giving the news. I'm just trying to read some of the other comments there. Cheesy cat in the house. Much love. It's looking. Boomer says, so do underground silver coin. No crypto. Well, people. I've already done that. Sorry you're late to the show. I've already done that. Took silver. I've asked everybody and their mama that needed any to let me know. We've done smelted it out, stamped it out, shipped it out. We've done all that. We've been there and done that. But I'm talking about something different, something market-wise people can invest in. So 23andMe. I don't know if you guys did this, man, but just a heads up. I would, if you did, I would never do this anyway. Because it seems like they're just searching for something. They're searching for DNA. There's certain bloodlines they want to eliminate. And that they're looking for. You can guarantee that. Certain bloodlines have certain traits. Certain characteristics that the people that carry the bloodline don't even realize. And it makes them targeted. That's crazy, but it's the truth. All right, we got, you guys know what, let me just say at the top of the hour, much love to everybody out there. Good evening. Repent and believe in Jesus Christ. Much love. Good to see everybody out there. Hope everybody's doing good. Ice White says invest in Motorola. They make mines. Invest in the underground. That's going to be the slogan. Invest in the underground. There's not going to be nobody can dump on you. There's not going to be Pretty Boy Jay. Thank you. Yeah, I was back slinging silver to whoever wanted it for the low. and gold, if nobody wanted the gold rounds, but I got the gold shot too, to do the same thing. I'm just glad some people out there got on board and started smelting like tacos, and others for their family, for their neighborhood, for their friends, just to learn something, if not anything else. And just to learn it and to be able to do it. And that's where it's at. Now, if you got gold and silver, physical gold and silver, I'd hold it. It's hold that. I've been telling you that forever. That's what you're long holding right here, long holding that. And again, I hope you're in a state that is tax free. If we launch this project the right way that we're going to do with the underground, it too should be tax free. And anything that we do, any moves there, should be tax free. So that's I don't know what anybody can complain about. If you don't want to mess with it, don't mess with it. But in terms of opportunity, again, tax-free is where it's at for me. RFK Jr. is pushing big pharma ad bans. This should have happened a long time ago. This is a good one right here. This A-Brain, Cerebrum, all these ads that you see, like, again, I can't play it, it's on YouTube. A pharmaceutical ad, and like, in the end, it'll say, could cause bleeding, could cause seizures, heart attack, numbness, call a doctor. If you feel any of these, it's the micro machine man at the end ripping it off real quick. And you're like, what? Yeah, so if they're getting people on this stuff all the time, and people are dying from the side effects because they're basically guinea pigs for most of the stuff. Man, oh man. Let thy food be thy medicine. Thy medicine be thy food. All right, we're going to get into some funny stuff here. Well, this has got to be the dumbest anti-Musk activist yet. He rams his ATV into the bulletproof truck. It really doesn't do any damage to it because it's bulletproof. I'm sure it's scratched paint maybe. But it is bulletproof, and it does have cameras. And I don't understand how a lot of these people don't get. They have to see this on social media. They have to see all the other people get busted, smearing their feces on it, keying all over. They have to see this. Does it not set in that there's cameras all over these vehicles? And that, just look at the shot here on the screen. You could be all the way over there walking out of the store, just minding your own business, and this Tesla sees you. They are spying devices by and large, I'm telling you. And you're seeing that. They're putting that on full display here. It's nice to have certain things, but you better be aware of your surroundings. You see one of these things around, truly, it's not a regular car as you know it. There's cameras all around, everywhere. You don't want to see someone, you don't want to be caught picking your wedge or whatever. Don't do it around. Don't do it around the freaking Tesla. I wouldn't doubt it if they incorporate these things to see through walls to write stuff. Miss Dragon, welcome to the underground. Much love. I'm going to play this clip. Big boy here. He about ate the Tesla. He sure did. Boy, he got him some kind of rigged up four-wheeler. He just smashed into it. Wow. Gear shifter's back up underneath the seat or something here. Man, oh man. So, this is happening all over the place. And it continues. The Tesla takedown thing is going to continue. I put these warnings out because I know there's innocent people out there that bought Teslas not thinking this was going to happen. They shouldn't have to deal with this. I would say, get rid of it, but the enemy, the people trying to smash your Tesla is telling you to do the same thing. It's like, then they're winning. But I just wouldn't buy one of these, period. At all. At all, man. Wouldn't be anywhere around it. Personally. I'm not telling people to attack anything, to do anything like that, but to stay away from it. And to hell with Elon Musk, Cuddy Ross. Yeah, I just wanted to get your attention, brother. I hope all's good. Make you laugh. Trump vows to probe this Ashley Babbitt homicide. This is big because the guy that shot and killed her is a murderer. And she was the real victim on J6. Out of all the smoke and mirrors and all the crap, she is the one that got shot in the chest and sat there on the live stream and freaking bled out. Oh, it pissed me off. It still pisses me off so bad. She's fighting, she's gasping for her life. Like she did nothing wrong. She just jumped up in a window and the dude just shot her for no reason. She had no guns, no weapons, presented nothing. Oh, man. That's one that really burns me up, man. She sat there and just laid there and died, man. Anyhow, I'm going to go to the next one. Hoodie. Trump tackles election integrity with a sweeping executive order. Will punish states that don't comply. So, he's changing the rules here. Basically, he's going to cut the funding to states that refuse to take steps to secure their elections. DHS is ensuring that illegal immigrants are not voting, they say. They're adding a citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time. So that they're changing things up, and he threatens everybody. It's like if you don't do what he says, he's cutting funding. He's cutting it off. Dabu coin with part of Psalm 23 on it. Great protection, and we could use it together. And much love. This next one here says that, and this is a shout out to my people in the UK, across the pond, Daz, Crown Jewels, everybody. I know you guys got a lot going on over there, and there's rapes, there's violence, and it's coming from a lot of this immigrant stuff. Thank you, Arma, for the coffees. Much love. But this is a clip right here, MGT, going off on a British reporter and calling her out, I think the right way, because, there needs to be some light shed on this. The illegals raping and doing stuff, killing people, it's insane in these smaller countries. The UK, Ireland, all this stuff, like I said before, some parts of Ireland you go into, you would think you were in Africa. It was all by design to make it this way. So the heritage is getting shook. It's getting rocked. Places that you could have went hundreds of years ago and found a certain type of people, they're being replaced in real time. And it's by murderers and rapists. We need militias to rise to the occasion. That is what we need. We need Patriot Group militias, or one big one, to rise. Are the feds going to try to infiltrate it and do all this? Of course, they always do. Everything. Are they going to be successful? No, because we'll speak it into existence that they won't be. All right? Something has to give. You can't sit there shivering, scared. The people got to rise. We need a militia. We need a real one. The whole Trump thing, and thank you, Kevbar. The whole Trump thing literally swooped up a ton of all that underneath the Trump banner. And it's like once they were there, they're under the black magic spell of it. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm trying to pull people out of it, wake them up, and say, hey, no, we got to get it together here. You guys got to see the bigger picture. Like, we need to be standing separate. This doesn't need to be politicized. This doesn't need to be no left-right crap. This needs to be just the people standing, patriots, under a banner. And we need it now, like yesterday.
Anybody else?
Should the Defence Secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
The UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
Well, she got pretty nasty with her there, but what I wanted to point out was just the rape thing. It's getting out of hand big time. Hey, thank you, John Boy. Much love right back. Let me slide over here to what Kev Bar said here real quick. Folks not getting it with Tesla cars. Oh, well. Yeah, Bachel's mine too. Thank you for the comment, and as always, the support, my brother. Appreciate it to the fullest, man. Can't wait to shoot another game of pool with Kev Bar. Always good times. There. If you're lucky enough to catch game pool with Kev Bar somewhere out there, whether on the East Coast or Vegas, you'd be a lucky man. Good times had by all. All right, this one is crazy. Unhinged leftist assaults people with a deadly weapon, with a bike lock. I mean, this is a heavy-duty bike lock. It's a weapon. Things like, you can see it right here on the right. All metal, heavy. I mean, knock somebody out, split them open easy. And this woman now paying the price for attacking these people. I'll play this clip. It's a quick one. It's like 4 seconds, but it shows her swing this and hit them, and I guess took them out. Took out the camera, took out something. You'll see right here.
Oh, that's full assault.
Go!
Boom! She cracked it. But he cracked his phone out of his hand. John Boy, thank you for gifting the memberships. So, she's arrested. Yep. I mean, people just, I don't know. I don't know the whole situation there. When you get a small clip of something, that's crazy. But they're seeing a lot of violent clips out there these days. Oh, here we go. Lunatics at the AOC rally brazenly calling for Trump to be tortured and murdered. So I'm going to play a clip of this real quick. This is what they're openly doing. And it's like, hold on a second. Like, you don't think you're being watched, targeted, tracked, and everything else, and going to get a visit by the time you get home? Yeah, here, watch.
Beheaded Donald Trump. Are you calling for his death?
I am, yes. I believe it's time that the people straight cut his fucking head off.
Sign says, if you want to know how fascism ends, ask Benito Mussolini.
And they hung him, right?
Yep, they hung him by his feet from a lamppost. That's exactly what every fascist deserves. The only good fascist is a dead fascist.
Now, are you calling for that to happen to our president right now?
I believe that the minute that Donald Trump decided to start ignoring judicial orders, he gave up the right to be the rightful president of the United States. He's an enemy of the nation, and yes, I'd like to see him hung by his feet by a lamppost.
But you wouldn't necessarily call for violence, would you? Are you supporting violence?
I think there's the people in power, that's all they're going to listen to at this point. I feel like we've done the rallies, we've done all these things, and they don't listen, and that was something that finally got people to listen. So I personally don't. But if that's what we need to do for people to listen, then that's what we need to do.
Yeah, you can see where the sentiment is there in these crowds. Let's jump into Signal and get it going here with some of the bigger stories. The Signal leak. Huge fallout from it, and what it is Signal is like a chat, like an area where they can share information. It's an app, a group messaging app. And apparently, they're saying that the administration accidentally shared military plans with a journalist on the app. And this has given the left reason to call for Hegseth to step down, all this other stuff, saying that they're all rookies, they don't know what they're doing. On the other side of the coin, Hegseth is trying to laugh it off and say, this is some really crappy war plans if they're true, and blah, blah, blah. But I think it's just kind of damage control, because I think that they're busted here. I think that even though it's not bombshell information, okay, like anything huge, but it's just the fact that they were discussing something like Yemen, and it gets out like this through what's supposed to be a secured line. Apparently it wasn't. We all know that they're bombing all these places left and right, so I think it's just more of an embarrassing thing here. In their defense, they're trying to say that there's no names, no targets, no locations, no units, no routes, no sources, no methods, and no classified information. So that's his response to all of it. Yeah. Well, Vance is cautioning against bombing Yemen, calling it a mistake, and I want people to realize you're witnessing a separation in the wide open on a stance on Yemen between Trump and Vance right out front. And I think, and it's not like they're fighting. It's the way they're positioning Vance. Because he's saying right now, he's like, don't bomb Yemen. It's a mistake. But yet Trump's over there like, no, we're bombing the crap out of them. And the Houthis say that the new U.S. airstrikes have obliterated residential neighborhoods. Residential neighborhoods. Okay, so U.S. airstrikes are starting to look a lot like Israeli strikes. Does anybody care? Big question. Anybody care about human life? Or are they just going to turn a cheek again? Oh, it's a hard question. Turn a cheek, I'm not going to pay attention to what he's saying. Okay. It's getting ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. People are getting murdered. These are women and children, by and large. The same thing in Gaza, the recent airstrikes. Mainly women and children. Body parts all over the place. It just seems some people don't care. I tell you what, man. War's never good. It's never fun. But when this much innocence is being slaughtered, there's something going on. And to me, it's not what it seems. The war is a racket, but it's a charade. The real end game goal is to kill everyday people. Which is what you see right here. Which is what you see in Gaza. Which is what you see in Ukraine on the front lines. They'll snatch up people off bicycles, send them to the front lines and trenches just to get blown up. Not for a greater gain. Not to really defend the place. Like, just to slaughter them. Alright. The State Department. They refuse to acknowledge that Israel has nukes. We all know they got them. Everybody. It's no secret. Everybody knows they got them. But they will refuse to acknowledge that Israel has them. They refuse to do it. At the same coin, U.S. intelligence says that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. Tulsi, Cash, all them, the new faces, they're all coming out and saying this? They're not building a nuclear weapon. But Trump just gave them 2 months to stop. or else. I think something's being done nuclear there. Period. Some kind of research, whether it's for bombs or not, like something. And as Russia says, they should be allowed to have a peaceful nuclear program, like a research program. But that's in a righteous world, like, right? Like, we shouldn't. We're not in a righteous world. These are a bunch of demons. I honestly think that they're all in on it. The whole world's a stage. If there's a world leader that's not in on it, playing the game how they want, like they'll kill him in the streets like Gaddafi. That's why Putin's in on it. Like all this crap, man. Like Xi Jinping's in on this. Obviously, he's Western trained. If you don't know, Xi Jinping, the leader, the emperor for life of China, was very good friends with Henry Kissinger. Okay, heavily influenced by the West. China's been influenced by Rothschild since the days of Mao. What'd Mao do? He came in, took the guns from everybody, and murdered millions of people. The same hand controls it all, man. So the same an Intel committee now, they're saying that Russia is winning in Ukraine, that they're gaining leverage. Big time. For every little bit that they gain, it's obviously more leverage. And they're not going to give it up. For every little blade of grass that they conquer and they take, they're going to keep. Which is usually what happens in war, right? Unless there's some agreements afterwards. But this time, on Russia's doorstep, you ain't having it. But this is the latest word. The latest word is that they have agreed to not attack each other out in the ocean. They got to start somewhere somehow. They started with energy places and it just didn't stop. Zelensky just kept bombing them. But they say right here, Russia and Ukraine agree to a Trump-brokered Black Sea deal and an energy and infrastructure ceasefire. But Moscow alerts some sanctions must be lifted first. So Moscow wants some of these banking sanctions lifted. I'm sure somewhere along the lines, all the money the U.S. stole and took of Russia, it's got to come up. It's got to. It hasn't even been mentioned yet. It has to at this point. Maybe it does in that conversation. And if Trump is really serious about trying to strike up deals and mineral deals and all this stuff with Russia after this whole war thing is settled, then of course they're going to have to unfreeze their money. Or something's going to have to be worked out there. So this is the consensus right now, is that they agreed to it. A Trump-brokered Black Sea and energy infrastructure ceasefire. This doesn't mean like all fronts. So they're still going to be duking it out in some places. And Ukraine is still hitting Russia at their energy sites. A naval ceasefire not yet implemented. So, they said that this is what was supposed to happen. Nothing's really happened. Until Zelensky's, out of there, until, they stop fighting and stop attacking Russia, it's not going to stop. Russia's not going to stop defending itself or fighting back or whatever, fighting in this war, as long as they're doing this. You've got to show an act of good faith, right? Stop sending bombs and drones and everything over and, actually stop. If Trump did that, he pulled back all the cyber attacks. They really did it. A majority of all this stuff. He let Russia know that they meant business. They really wanted to talk, work things out. But Zelensky's just been a madman, a thorn in the side at this point. He needs to go. I'm not sure what it's going to take for him to go. You may see a nuclear mushroom cloud pop off somewhere in the vicinity before he goes. And let me tell you, if he strikes Moscow with anything critical, with anything crazy, or they try to take out Putin or anything like that, Kiev will get nuked. They will get hit. If they try to decapitate, strike Putin or anything stupid like that, they will get nuked. Do you understand? They will get nuked. I feel like he's begging for it. So, what's Zelensky do? He goes out here and he's now saying that Russia has influenced Trump. in their regime because he can't get his way. And that's just a bunch of garbage. Turn the page. Syria. U.S. issues demands to Jolani in exchange for Syrian sanction relief. Like, are you kidding me? You're doing deals with the guy. Of course, they created this guy. It's a CIA asset right here. It's all show. And yet they're slaughtering Christians. Where you at, Trumpers? Is anybody holding Trump accountable? And I ask this because, I mean, you voted for him. Like, he's your man. Say something to him. Say, hey, Trump, we voted for you. Like, why are you killing all of our fellow brothers and sisters over in Syria, all of our fellow Christians? Why are you letting it happen? Like, why are you not saying a freaking word about it? This same Trump says he's going to go in and clean them all out. Gaza. Oh, you don't want to hear that neither, right? These are facts. I get sick of you clowns. Don't want to face the fire on this. It's pathetic. You're pathetic. That's right. You don't like it? Get out of here. Don't come back. Anybody that wants to turn a cheek every time a hard question gets brought up, you're weak. I don't want you nowhere around me. It's small-minded, weak individuals like that make up the crowd that get us screwed. And they know this because if they can control the crowd, they can implement laws and they can get away with it. You see, and that's the scary part about it. They've got this whole herd under a magic spell. And if they convince them to go along with the beast system, guess what you have to deal with? The beast system. So I don't take kindly these ignorant zombies that are walking us toward it. They're walking us right into it. Because they're so in love with their Gentile Messiah. Well, I guess you're going to have that some ways, but oh well. Let me keep it pushing, and we're going to jump into the bigger stories here. Let me knock out these last couple in regards to war. 4 missing U.S. Army troops in Lithuania found dead. And this is crazy because it's just nuts. It's one thing to be missing, but then now to say that they're dead and they have no details of what happened to them, like none. They know something. They know if their body's been chopped up in pieces, like blown apart, like they're not saying nothing. They're not hinting at anything. Very suspect because this is bordering with Belarus. And Belarus soldiers down there, if they caught them, they could have killed them. We'll see where this goes. Wait for the updates on this one. Like, they have to update on what happened to these guys. They all fall off a cliff? I doubt it. Eaten by a bear? I doubt it. Something nefarious involving other humans that killed them? Probably. That's what I'm leaning toward. So, these 4 missing U.S. soldiers, dead. And we don't know why. In the meantime, something's happening. Stealth bombers being sent to Diego Garcia. It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked about Diego Garcia. But the mysterious base out in the Indian Ocean, 1,000 miles south of India, is key. It's key to everything that they're going to do and they are doing over there. Remember, I brought it up with the MH370. The disappearance of the flights. And since then, shills have tried to spin fake video conspiracies of it disappearing in wormholes and garbage like that and get famous off of it. That's all. I tell you what, it's taking away from the fact of all the stuff that we track to Diego Garcia. It deflects away from it is what that does. And the fact that we had proof that the flights went there. And that also that there was a twin. And that this twin was housed by who and where? Israel. That's right. We dug so deep and hard on that. Anyhow, Diego Garcia was key to this whole thing for the whole thing that went down. So again, it is now. Stealth bombers are sitting there on the tarmac. So if you're Iran, if you're anybody in the region, word is stealth bombers are on the tarmac, Diego Garcia. That's not good. You ain't gonna see or hear these things. No one's gonna know. Places are just gonna get obliterated. They're just gonna get obliterated. These stealth bombers could creep up virtually any time. They could creep up on you. And I'm not lying. Like, a stealth bomber can creep up on you. Daylight, nighttime, doesn't matter. If you're not looking, turn around looking, they can creep up on you and be sitting there in the sky and you not even know it until you see them. You won't hear them. They don't have to fly in like a plane. They're like a UFO, dude. Stealth bombers are nuts, man. When you see these things in action, how they can stop, they can sit there and they can float and they can hover and they can do all these things. They've got a technology deployed in them, man, that is top shelf. Next step is virtually a UFO or UAP, is how I see it. The stealth bombers that we've got, and some of the classified aircraft that they're rolling out that they won't even mention. Northrop, all these contractors are building on. At their secret bases in Nevada by Area 51, all these crazy things, man. I gotta go back to Area 51, man. Deserves another trip. Anyhow, stealth bombers on the scene out Mideast. Someone's gonna get hit. Someone's gonna get pounded. So, let me jump into the 2,200-year-old mysterious pyramid structure filled with coins and weapons found near the Dead Sea. They say the purpose of this mysterious pyramid structure in the Judean desert is unknown, but excavators are finding many well-preserved artifacts. So volunteers uncovered papyrus fragments with Greek writing. I mean, how do you find that intact in the ground? I don't know. I don't know if it's in a jar or what. That's all they're saying. The excavation site is just north of the valley of Zohar, along the coast of the Dead Sea. It contains a host of exceptionally well-preserved artifacts that are more than 2,000 years old. So that's interesting. This goes back to the time of Jesus, to Yeshua. And you just never know, what's on these scrolls and stuff. What's said, what ancient knowledge is there. He could say something crazy and amazing, but we don't know. They could lie to us too, we don't know. But I thought it was worth bringing up here because the age on it, and that it's sitting in the Holy Land area, and apparently underneath all this rubble, there seems to be some pyramid shape to it. This isn't too surprising. One of the oldest pyramids on the planet sits, guess where? Crimea. And guess where it's at? It is underground. It is underground. There are quite a few amazing pyramid structures around the world that don't get the credit they deserve, like the ones in China, Bolivia, all these other places, man. China, you can see it's a huge pyramid. And they let the grass grow out and they try to plant trees on it. And it's like, dude, you guys are pathetic. We can all clearly see it's a freaking pyramid. But Every government's different. I mean, look right down to Mexico. I would love to go down. I've dreamed of going to one of these ancient places. Dreamed of being able to go down and live stream from Mexico, from the pyramids, Temple of the Sun, all that down there. Get it all on video, do some exploring, do all that. But no, I can't. Because if I attempt it, I'll get my head chopped off probably or blown away. It's just kidnapped. I probably won't even make it to the site. Like, it's pathetic, man. Again, it pisses me off, man. It's like, part of my soul says, man, I came into this life wanting to explore this world and do all these crazy things and, like, understand and learn. And this place has gotten so crazy and out of hand that it's impeding that. You can't do it. The average soul can't do it. Now I understand why souls in the past that didn't want to come back in here. And they asked for God to wipe it out. And he did. It's just like the days of Noah. There's your sign. Animal block, thank you. Godspeed right back at you. So this brings me to the creme de la creme here. The top echelon story. And it's a crazy one. I mean, when it comes to ancient artifacts, the Ark of the Covenant is just about as legendary as it gets, right? It is the location of a chest believed to contain the Ten Commandments, the originals. Moses brought down, literally engraved by God. And this box was designed and meant to, as you read the stories and you should know, it's meant to protect it, and like it would release energy that could kill, that was deadly. According to the Bible, the Ark of the Covenant was built by the Israelites shortly after they fled Egypt, and this was around the 13th century BC. Moses then placed the Ten Commandments inside of it. Now, this is where it all begins to get crazy, and I'm just going to read off the details here with the story. And of course, it all begins with the CIA. They conducted experiments in the 80s with individuals who claimed that they could perceive information about distant objects, events, or other people. This is remote viewing. I think my aunt did some of this work before she died in this field. She did some stuff, some secret stuff, like stuff with the government, like in this realm of psychic stuff. And that's pretty much all I know. But I've always thought that some remote viewing is what she was doing as well. But what they did in this instance is they set this thing up. The CIA conducted these experiments, and a remote viewer, number 32, was given coordinates to locate a target. This is how they often do it. And they described the Ark of the Covenant hiding in the Middle East. Some historians believe that the Ark of the Covenant was originally kept inside the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber of the ancient temple of Jerusalem, before it disappeared when the Babylonians came in and destroyed it in 586. There's also a legend that the artifact was taken to Ethiopia, which it's a strong legend. Even all the people there believe it, and all this other stuff. And that it now resides in a local church there under protection. And that no one can go in and see it or anything like that. Evidence that the chest existed has yet to be found, but the CIA that was a document that was declassified in 2000, apparently, claims that it was discovered in 1988. The target is a container. This container has another container inside of it, the document states. The target is fashioned of wood, gold, and silver, and it is decorated with a 6-winged angel. The remote viewer continued to say that the coffin-shaped object is located somewhere in the Middle East and saw people in the area speaking Arabic. They go on to say the remote viewer, however, was not told that they were searching for the lost covenant before it began. You see how they do these things? They do this like this. They just like it's explaining. They told them it's a box inside of a box. Unless they put 2 and 2 together and realized what it was they were looking for, some of these people were oblivious to it. They were just giving little details to remote view. Now, according to biblical history, the sacred gold-covered wooden chest was constructed sometime between, or somewhere around 1445 BC. And then the Ten Commandments, obviously, put in there by Moses. Now, as I said before, some historians believe that the ark remained inside the ancient temple in Jerusalem for centuries. And during that time, only the high priest could see it or go in there. Even he was only allowed near it on the holiest day of Yom Kippur. So the rest of the time, no one could go around. And then it vanished. But the CIA document, a remnant of this mysterious Project Sunstreak, suggests that the U.S. government has known where the Ark is for years. In the 1970s and 80s, the DIA, or the Defense Intelligence Agency, and several other agencies, including the CIA, employed individuals alleged to have paranormal capabilities as a means of acquiring intelligence about distant events. So this Project Sunstreak attempted to use psychics, known as remote viewers, to gather intelligence on targets using only coordinates. Only coordinates. The remote viewers are supposedly able to project their consciousness beyond their body to observe a far-off location. This is how it works. So the CIA had tapped these psychics for a wide array of operations, from locating hostages to tracing paths of fugitive criminals within the U.S. And I'm telling you, they're using them now to this day in mass. So the project, known as Sunstreak, has gained public attention after it was featured on a recent episode of the Ninjas and Butterflies podcast. Josh Hooper said that he thought Project Sunstreak was fake until he went to the CIA.gov website and found the documents. He was like, what am I looking at? They describe the training exercise conducted on December 5th of 1988. The psychic projected their consciousness beyond their body to search for the sacred artifact, writing down the observations as they went. What he wrote was bone-chilling. The target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoke by the individuals seemed to be Arabic, the psychic wrote. The psychic described nearby buildings with what resembled mosque domes and individuals clothed in virtually all white with black hair and dark eyes. One figure I homed in on wore a mustache. The target is hidden underground, dark and wet, were all aspects of the location of the target. So it's like in the church underground. The purpose of the target is to bring the people together. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, homage, and resurrection. There is an aspect of spirituality, information, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we know. This is where it gets crazy. The psychic said the target is protected by entities that can only be opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container it cannot be opened until the time that is deemed correct. The psychic goes on to say, the time comes, the mechanics on the lock system will be found fairly simple to open. He says, when the time comes, they'll be able to open it fairly simply. But anyone who tries to do so prior will be struck and killed. It's using a power unknown to us. It's like you're talking, it's an ancient technology on display here. It would shatter everything. It would shatter everything. Just its existence shatters everything. And thank you, Mike Z, for the coffees. I appreciate that. Much love and peace. So, look, man. That is a wild one. Okay? Much love, Crown Jewels. Gave you a shout out earlier, my brother. And all the cats in the UK. Hope all is well. Got to get back on another one with you, man. I was listening to some of the songs earlier. This is wild, man. So they just came out and told us that basically the pyramids are not what we lied to you and told you about this whole time. They're not Pharaoh's burial chambers. Ha! I never believed it. Never, ever believed it. Ever. I immediately looked at these things like they were massive mechanical somethings. And then as time went on, everything pointed to it was a power plant. And then Thoth basically said so. And then now they're basically telling you these coils that are going down underneath the pyramids. Like, let's do it. Like, come on, guys, like, get down there, like, start. I mean, there has to be underground tunneling, too, that goes to them. And all this other stuff. I mean, to go down 1.2 miles in the earth underneath of them is crazy. But yet, this is the reality. This is what they're telling us. Again, ancient technology being put on display. Imagine if all this stuff came out. All right, I wonder why all this knowledge is dropping right now. Timing is everything. So you're telling me you decide to come out and tell the world basically that, yeah, so many words, again, they lied to us the whole time about the pyramids. They're definitely not burial chambers. Definitely not. They're like huge power plants, huge batteries, big energy generators, energy vortex generators. However you want to put it, they're like power plants. And, I mean, for crying out loud, the Egyptians even had light bulbs drawn on the inside and all this other stuff. There's not no soot on the walls on the inside when people went in. This thing had electric running through it and everything. And they even showed you in the hieroglyphs, big light bulbs and everything lit up. Like, they show you. So, like, this place, yeah, was definitely like some kind of, maybe it was multifaceted too. Maybe it was not just a power plant, but also served as a spiritual type of hub as well. For ascension, things that it's all to do with energy. Let me just tell you that. Major. So is the Ark of the Covenant. Ark of the Covenant has everything to do with a hidden energy. Again. So two legendary energy type of event sources have been put out back to back. I don't even think most of the populace ain't even going to wrap their head around it. What they just dropped about the whole the columns under that, like most of the populace is never going to see or hear that. If they're not trying to find it and seek it right now, if they're off the ball game or off doing whatever right now, they're never going to find it. They're never going to see these updates, these new things, because they're booking school. Unfortunately, when they go back into school, it's going to teach them that it's a freaking burial chamber. When we're out here in real time learning the truth, isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that freaking ridiculous? They should be This should be it should be mandatory. Like stuff like that is updated. They rewrite the damn book. I don't care if it costs them money or not. If history's changing, you need to be updating the people. And thank you, John. God bless. Look, man. I think that the biggest thing out of this whole thing is the fact that they admit right here that entities, other life forms, another intelligent consciousness of some sort is guarding this. That's bombshell. That's huge, man. They know where it's at. They know all this. If they're just not sharing this, of course, it goes way deeper than that, man. Well, if they pretty much figured out what it is, and that they couldn't touch it anyway, even if they went there and tried to get it, what would be the sense in even trying to go get it? If you knew that it was going to strike you dead, that you could literally... It had some kind of atomic clock within it or something that, like, shut down the capability of it to zap you, like, at a certain time. And you would have to know that time. And that's what it says. It's exactly what it says. It says that only at a specific time can it be opened. This is wild, man. Biblical freaking wild. Imagine all the other stuff that these fools know that they don't tell us. All the other stuff that they're remote viewing. Why don't you go remote view the gold in Fort Knox for us, guys? Very interesting stuff, man. We're in wild times, man. Wild freaking times here. Yeah, so you can see what right here, the seraphim, and these certain angels that were put here. There's a hierarchy of them to do certain things. It's pretty amazing. I'm glad that I've kind of studied all these different aspects all these years and went down all these avenues and read all these different books and different from different religions and different aspects and from all of it. Because you get a take from all angles, and what it points to, it puts together the whole picture, the full big picture. Even though they've tried to hide a majority of that information from you. Like I often say, you need to read the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees, Genesis B, the book of Giants, all these, the Testament of Solomon. It's all knowledge that was stripped from your Bible. When you read all of those and get the viewpoint from all those aspects, you can see what they left out or were hiding from other places, and you can see the full story. So, as far as I can tell, it's pretty clear what this place is now. We're in a place designed to test us. It is made that way. God allows it to be that way. And that's just the way that it is. You're in a realm to be tested. Don't ever forget it. And everything. You wonder why you're nicking for that cigarette and you're trying to quit. You wonder why you want an alcohol. They call it spirits for a reason. You're wondering why you're the drugs or the sexual stuff's being put upon you. You wonder why the temptation to go steal or something is being put upon you, or any of it. It's all being put upon you by the jinn. And see, now I see them clearly. I see them I'm telling you, now you should see them clearly. And it's just like they live. You now could take the shit, you could see what they are. You could see them for what they are. They're here daily. They're not going anywhere unless you exercise them and learn to start doing so. You need to be aware of the elements around you, the spiritual wickedness in high places, because that's what we wrestle against. And they told you this in your Bible. Wrestle not against the flesh, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. And that is what they were telling you. This is the spiritual wickedness in high places, the jinn. They are real. These entities are real. They're very real. How do you think the Knights Templar got all their power? They discovered this. They discovered what Solomon was doing. They dug it up at the temple. They found the goods a long time ago. And they rode off into the mountains with it. And they went straight to a spot where they built a little church. And they built a statue. And it was of one of the jinn. It was of Azazel. And that's how they got their power. They were connecting with the jinn. The jinn can go anywhere, anytime, all across the planet. They can see everything through this other realm. So they were able to tell the Templars anything and everything. Do you know how big of a cheat code it is? That's why it's forbidden to cast circles. You are to work with the Holy Spirit that was given to you to work with by all means at all times, and is there for you and will work in the name of Jesus. Can't you see? They run demons out of bodies in the name of Jesus alone. He works. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the priest exorcise demons out of people with my own eyes. I've seen the demons jump out of people and go into a nurse. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've lived it. It's wild. There's wild stuff going on out there. It's my next step. It's the next level. It's in the flesh. It's taking on these demons. You can't sit here and know this and have this knowledge and not act. I feel like it's a drop the ball moment. It's like, it's embarrassing. Like, you gave me this knowledge, Lord God, and like, all right, I should do good with it. Exorcise these demons is what I'm told. Like, if you get, like, cast them out away from people, if they're overwhelming people, or put them to work in a righteous way, the same way that Solomon did. There's only one or two ways to do it. You can't use them bad. But I'm going to tell you, the way where I come from, it's just going to be battles. It's going to be just running demons out of people. That's where I see this going. It's going to get crazy. It's all crazy. But I would rather see it for what it is, know it's pretty wild, than just walk around blind and oblivious to it for the rest of my life. I actually now know the source of what's doing all this. And so do you. I'm now consciously aware of it. They're here. They're as real as the air that you breathe, but you can't see it. You can't see the air you breathe, but it gives you life. But they're there in the realm. They're in the ether. They're here. Never forget it. So, with that said, I believe these entities guarding this area, it's very similar to the entities, the Garden of Eden, the flaming sword by day and night. It's guarded until the time of God's choosing. A lot of this is deep spiritual, man, that I think people are going to miss. They're going to miss it. I don't want to come back into this realm. I want to graduate. I want to go to the next level. Jesus, Yeshua, he said, follow me. There's a way. And he laid out the example. He lived it. He showed you how you should live by every way, by every means. All of it. You should live righteous. And that's virtually it. Live righteous, man. It's simple in the end, but easier said than done. walk righteous, overcome the evils, do good for other people, help other people. And, plant them seeds of righteousness all over the place. Oh. I pray to the Most High in heaven to help all of you out there that call upon Him. That the Godhead guides His people up out of the belly of the beast. Spares us from destruction. Dear Lord, please send me a ride. Send me one of your lovely messengers down in a ship, please. Pick me up and take me up into subspace so I can watch this place get lit up. It'd be a legendary exit. I've had visions of it. I feel fire's coming. And it's just to replenish this place, to rejuvenate it, to wipe away the evil that got to an extreme. It's almost something that has to be done. And he promised he wasn't going to flood it out. Last time he did it by water. This time it's going to be by fire. So this place is going to get lit. It's going to get smoked out. I believe this place is going to get wiped out, destroyed. I mean, if you look at what is written, he's pretty much told you. Jesus left and went where? He went with the team to do what? To prepare a new place, a new heaven, a new place. I mean, is that not what it says? Yes, it is. That means this one fades away. It gets smoked. And I'm okay with that. I don't want to come back to the soul trap ever again. I want to graduate into that new place. I want to reincarnate there with you guys, with you righteous souls that fight the fight, the good fight. I want to live a good life where we can live for 1,000 years and explore a planet and everything it has to offer and gain true knowledge of history. If not only that life in the history of a planet, but the cosmos of it all. Because coming back into this place, man, we just get our memory wiped every time. It's true. You're born into amniotic fluid. It's amnesia fluid. Look it up. You'll start to see that this whole place was designed for this. A soul trap, truly. You're in a vessel. Even if you're not spiritual, I always say, scientifically, energy doesn't die. It doesn't. It's proven fact. So start there. If you think you have intelligence, but you're not spiritual, then start there. Start with energy never dies. Okay? It just changes shape or goes into another structure. You are energy. Your soul is soul energy. Something, I'm telling you, an intelligence out there will take that energy and do something with it if you don't get smart with what you're doing with it, with you, your essence, your consciousness. It will catch it. It will wipe it clean, and it will send it back. It will detach you from your memories, your soul memories. But they bleed through. Many people have this happen. It bleeds through. You may recall past life or this or that. I don't want to come back. That's all I'm telling you. I feel like I took a ticket in here. I agreed. I don't know why. Sometimes. But I felt like, I don't know, like on the other side, like this was the life to brag about. This was the life to say, guess what? Out of all lives, what was the craziest time to live in? And everybody starts going crazy saying this, all the souls clamoring. Majority are going to come back and say the end. The end. Right up to the end. The lead up right up to the end. That right there. Tribulation. Oh, guess what, boys? Some reason I said, I'll take it. And here I am. And you too. I know there's good guys. I know it. I know it. My soul knows it. Again, if you're not spiritual, there's a yin to every yang. Scientifically, there's a mirror to every atom. There's an opposite to everything. You should know, with your intelligence then, at the level of evil that's here, negativeness, there has to be a counterweight to that, a positive. And there is. And that's the team. And that's where I put all my faith, my heart, my soul in and for. It don't get it twisted. I was forced by the Most High to understand how this works. These jinn that are here, they're doing a job God put them here to do. You should know this. He could have eviscerated them, could have eliminated them forever, but he didn't. He's using them for a purpose and a reason. And it's one that I guess that everyone should respect. But, as I argue, it would help for some clarity. You know, we should be born like knowing some of the rules of the game, like just instinctively. All right? Then man can't lie to us, can't play all this game. Just instinctively embed things in us, like a bird knows how to fly and all these other things. Like, just, that would do away with all this crap. Instinctively have a connection to the Godhead. But I think God would say what I did. I gave you the mind's eye. I gave you the seed of the soul. And they've attacked it, and they've hardened it, and calcified it, and disconnected you from... Okay. Fair enough. Okay? So we see what's at work here. We are a device that runs, like everything else, off frequency. And I'm going to tell you now, there's beings here that are around you in the flesh that are deceiving you through frequency. It may sound crazy, like, oh, some aliens here wearing a belt that's giving off a frequency, but you can't tell it's an alien. It looks like a human. And you would never ever think it was an alien because it looks like a human. Man. The mastery of frequency and the illusion that they can pull. I believe a superior, intelligent type of race is here, and I do believe it's reptilian in nature. We are reptilian in nature. Reptilian core to our mind and everything else. So chew on that. That's a fact, Jack. Where'd that come from in the mix-up? I wonder. Where'd they grab that from? I believe they're here. I believe a movie like The V and all that, it showed you. It shows you. They're here. And they are the ones that our politicians sell us out to. They are the ones that give them high technology, all the UFO stuff, all the weapons, everything. It's them. It's the baddies. They're not good. They reek. They stink of sulfur. They ain't good entities. Sure, there might be a 1% of rebellion within them that it goes for the good guys, you know. But a majority of this whole class is like Thoth said. I believe these are the ones he was talking about. They are the male dominant entities that came here when war broke loose with Mars, and Atlantis sank shortly after, and all hell broke loose. It distorted the energy. It threw it off. And back then, the pyramids were running. All the places were running. It was all ran on an energy grid, natural energy cycle. It's a beautiful place. It was like a utopia at that point. Lemuria, Atlantis, when the pyramids are fired up and doing what they're supposed to do, and this world was operating the way that it can righteously operate. It's a beautiful thing. It can be a beautiful thing, I think. But I think that time it came and went. Pick your poison, but pick the time you want to live in or whatever. Like, we're here. We're now. I'm sorry if you're not happy with it. I didn't make the place. I didn't make the rules. All I can say is keep your head up. To never give up faith and believe. And it's 11:11. And I love you all. We'll end it on that. Take us out of here on some music. Give a couple shout outs. And as I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days. I will see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. Much love. Eon, good to see you. I hope all is well and thank you, legendary Eon. And see you in the chat. I'm worried about you, I hope all is good. Much love forever. Thank you to the someones out there. Thank you, Boomer. Thank you, Deanne, for all you do. Much love to all the mods. Thank you, Paul, for the coffee. Cash Heart, legendary. Legendary. Arma, Animal Black, Mike C, John, Eon. Salutes to all of you. Everyone new to the underground, welcome. Stay safe, y'all. And God bless WW3. Signing off. Much love. And is that right, Tooge? Is it your birthday as well? With fam for B-Day? Well, if it is, happy birthday, brother. Much love, God bless. I send prayers, tacos. His dog just passed away. Man. I send prayers. Much love.